Hello and welcome to Afternoons with Nancy. I am Nancy from the text. Well, this is a remediation of the text Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Anyway, so I am wearing a shirt. Looks like a men's shirt, but the people on the telly say that it is best for me to wear this. Anyway, you might want to know, what's remediation? Well, remediation is, let me put on my spectacles, it'll make me more intelligent. A remediation is taking a text and putting it into a new format. So essentially, this is the text of Oliver Twist, just in a question-answer format. And it's not all what Oliver is saying or what the narrator is saying, it's what I'm saying what actually happened. So it's the actual plot. In a way, it's an adaptation, but it's really a remediation because I am taking this exact text and just putting it in a different form. Okay, so the first question on our show today is, what is your occupation? Oh my, well, that is a rather personal question, don't you think? Next question. What is your occupation? Oh my goodness, they know how to make a woman blush. Let's just say that I am a free and agreeable sort of married girl, and I work very late, if you know what I mean. Sometimes well into the morning. But anyway, sometimes the soot, it's not good for you in London, gets in your lungs and just makes you cough and anyway, on to the next question. Do you like your job? Well, if you don't mind getting thrown around a bit or punched in the face, I guess it's alright. It really is a fine life. I get food, I get drink, a place to stay, and, someone who cares about me somewhat. I mean, it's either this or starve. It's either work, in the strictest sense of the word, or starve to death, so I choose work. The next question is, how did you come upon Oliver? Oh, what a dear boy. Thank goodness he's with Mr. Brownlow now, living a better life, because he deserves it. I was stuck in this and I felt sorry for the poor bloke. But the Artful Dodger came upon him and brought him to Fagin, and I worked for Fagin, so it was inevitable that I would meet him. What is your relationship like with Oliver? Well, because I felt sorry for the poor bloke and I was kind to him. He was forced into a life of crime and he was pickpocketing. You see, it all started with a game. Fagin would put a handkerchief in his pocket and have one of the boys take the handkerchief when he wasn't looking, and the boy successfully took the handkerchief without Fagin noticing. They won the game. Well, this hypothetical game was really to entice Oliver, to trick him into pickpocketing, because this boy has such a moral soul and he could never just walk up and steal. He was just 8 at the time and quite naive, so Oliver fell for this game and he went on his first pickpocketing little adventure and he got arrested. Well, Fagin and Sykes were furious. Sykes, Bill, is my lover, and they sent me, they said, you will dress up like, I said, why don't you let him go? And they were like, no, you must dress like a respectable woman and go to the prison and fetch Oliver immediately. So I put on my best face, said I was looking for my dear brother, and they told me he was at Mr. Brownlow's. Well, Mr. Brownlow, I said, who on earth is he? So I report back, and the Artful Dodger and Sykes go out and look for Oliver, and they find Mr. Brownlow's house. And they wait until Oliver leaves, and they capture him, and they make me help. You see, I threatened to not help and said, why don't you let the boy have a good life, and they'll slap me in the face. So it was either do or die. Again, if you felt sorry for him, here's a question, why wouldn't you help him? Well, like I said, it's more complicated than that. You see, It was my life in jeopardy, not just Oliver's. I was worried for the both of us. I had this it's a struggle because how do you tell a man that you're in love with no? Yet you want to tell him no because he has quite a temper. At the same time, you don't want to die, so it was rather complicated. How do you feel about Bill? Well, Bill Sykes, he is a comfort and a pride at times, but what a man. My love for such a man is like a new means of violence and suffering and pain. Well, the next question is what do you mean what went wrong? He had quite a temper, and he ended up killing me when I tried to help Oliver escape to his new life. I created a diversion trying to let Oliver get away, and thank goodness he did. He got to Mr. Brownlow's safely, and he got away, but I was beaten to death by the one man I truly loved and trusted. So, that is the life of a poor girl. It's not all sad, right? Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment and join me next week for a questionnaire with Oliver. Where is he now? Thank you so much for tuning in today, and goodbye.